Hey guys, you know what gets in the way of a planned Homebrew Wednesday? This shit. Oh yeah. It's like a cock block, but for brew tubers. Son of a bitch. Cheers. Alright guys, done with snow blowing. What a pain in the ass. It was supposed to be like 10 to 14 inches, and I think we probably got 10 here, but it was really wet, compacted, so it was like 6 or 7 inches. And it took everything the air and snowblower was worth to get that move. So glad that's done, but it's still snowing. I'd show you, but you can't see through the window. We're supposed to get like another 4 inches tonight, but oh well, right? So I got kind of a bunch of stuff to talk about this Wednesday. So this weekend, first off, brewed the DKN. Sorry guys, I stuffed up. So I'm not going to read off the recipe again. I don't know if Nate wants me to do that, so I won't. I have very little brew footage that I'll include after this. I had a friend, and then we drank and kind of forgot about recording. So I recorded some things, but it's really not that exciting. But it'll be just a short, really, clip of what I did. But what I did want to talk about is he recommends a mash of 150 to 152. I mashed at 155 to get some maltiness, and plus I lose 2 to 3 degrees at least when I mash by the end of it. So I went to 155. I had no idea what the water chemistry was. I added, I think, 4 grams of gypsum to the mash and then 3 grams to the strike water. Or no, 3 grams to the mash and then 4 grams to the strike, or the sparge water. And my pH was still at 5.7, maybe 5.8, pushing that level. I tried to add some citric acid, or not citric, I think maybe citric acid. An acid, and I add a little bit, didn't do much, and I really didn't want to add too much, so I didn't. So we'll see if I can detect any astringency from that. With a hoppy beer, I really don't think it's going to be too big of an issue. Now, if it was a clean cream ale or a pilsner, I think that would make a difference. The estimated pre-boil original gravity was 1050 at the high end, and I got 1061. And I got 5.5 gallons in the fermenter. Theirs is I think it's 5.5. So I don't know what happened, and I did my grains a lot coarser, as you'll see. It still didn't run clear. I mean, maybe it needs to be more coarse, but there were still some uncrushed grains in there, so something worked. But yeah, it was 1061, give or take maybe a couple points, because I had to add, I think I put in, instead of a cup to the rehydrated SO5, I put in 2 cups, so I don't know how much I would drop it. So I'm just saying 1061, 1060. That's fermenting upstairs. So again, I'll put the footage, maybe I'll throw it in right now, and we'll be back. All right, have the mash going. I just put the blanket on. In about 5 minutes, I'll check the pH. I put some gypsum in the mash, so hopefully that'll make the pH just right. So we'll see on that. And I targeted at 155, which is higher than Nate's, because I get some temperature loss in this. And I kind of like a more malty pale ale. Cheers. All right, guys. Sorry I got a little sidetracked, but I am currently Vorloffing, and I'll probably show you. I'll fill up a little glass and show you what the color's looking like. I'm trying to get this more clear. pH was not good. It's probably about 5.7 room temperature, so too high. Not terribly high, but not what I was looking for. But cheers. All right, guys, there's some of the runnings. Again, can't get my wort clear. I don't know what's going on. I milled this coarsely. I'm just gonna keep Vorloff and see what I can do. All right, guys, I missed a whole bunch of steps because we had the cable guy come and a bunch of other things happen. So you'll just see the boil, I guess, the boring hop edition. So the first hop edition. Cheers. All right, guys, I missed. I put in the chiller, put in the yeast nutrient and the the Irish moss. Here's the 5-minute edition of hops. Oh shit! I showed the ingredients. Oh well. Cheers. All right, everyone. I chilled it down to 180 exactly, and now we have two top additions going in for a whirlpool for 30 minutes. We call this the under the table whirlpool. And of course, I'll be spinning this for the next 30 minutes while it's sitting and steeping. Cheers, guys. It smells delicious. Right, Matt?
Sure does.
Cheers.
Cheers.
All right, yeah, so not great footage, but you guys have seen my brew days. If I do something really spectacular, I'll be sure to record it. So last week I talked about, I don't know if it was an effort Friday or what it was, but I talked about how I was going to freeze distill my milk stout, and here it is. So what I did is, it really started melting fast. I did it on Friday night, and so I got one container and then a second container about here on both, and I mixed them together. That first stuff was, man, was it boozy. So I mixed them together. So I wish I wouldn't have done that. We were drinking a little bit of this on Saturday, but not a whole lot because it is strong. But I'll tell you guys what I think of it, because some guys were interested to tell me. Again, so you know, basically you're putting it in a container like a milk jug or something that can be frozen. You freeze it, and hypothetically, the alcohol, the higher alcohols aren't going to freeze. Not in a general freezer unless you got a really cold freezer, but the water will freeze. So when you tip it upside down, what's going to come out, what's going to melt is, oh, I got some weird shit in there. Hold on. What's going to melt is the alcohol, and it's going to leave most of the water. Now, I have no idea what it did to the alcohol content, but I'll tell you, it's strong. It warms all the way down. So what I did think is that if you have like a higher fermentation temperature and you have a lot of fusel alcohols, this might really jack those up. You know, that really hot sensation. But let's give it a pour. This has been sitting in my fridge now since last Friday, so let's see. I'll pour a little shot ski of it. As you can see, it's pretty thick. I mean, it doesn't look thick, but let's get an aroma on it. It smells like an imperial stout, is what it smells like, but a boozy imperial. Like, well, I don't know. It just smells like an imperial stout, I would say, a little bit on the boozy end. But it smells like chocolate and no coffee, but basically chocolate. So it does smell good. So let's get a taste quick. Ugh. It tastes good. It's like, you know, like the consistency of like Kahlua, but chocolatey and boozy. I'm guessing that this ABV has to be upwards of 17-18%, because I got a half gallon and I got about this much, really. And this is just a standard canning jar. So, and I took the milk container when I went to bed, and I didn't really care about letting some of the water get in there. You could add some water to this, and you know, to taste and get it to where you want. But so people were asking me, is this worth it? I would say yes. I mean, if you're gonna dump a beer, why not? I mean, give it a shot. It's kind of cool to see what this would be a high ABV, but it's pretty smooth. I mean, it's warm. It's like a stout whiskey. It's really cool experiment. So this will stay sealed up in my fridge, and I'll probably put it in my keezer. And so people come over, give it a little. Obviously, it's going to get oxidized, which I don't really care. We'll see what happens to it. But yeah, cool way if you're gonna dump something down the drain. Cool way to experiment and see. And again, you know, you could add something to this. You know, maybe a couple drops of coffee or pumpkin spice. You know, with a little bit of vodka and just play with it. So I probably won't. I'll just pull it out when people are over and say this was a distilled stout and see what they think. So yeah, pretty good. So I'm gonna pause here. I got something to taste for you, and then we'll be back for some shout outs. Cheers. All right, so I'm back. So the other thing I wanted to show you guys, and I'm basically doing this for Josh C. Core, not Sakar, not Josh Sakar, C. Core. C. Core. All right, I think I got it now. Anyway, so this is what I showed you last week, the Blood Orange Gose by Anderson Valley. 4.2%. So let's goes with the goes. Okay. So Josh said that there is some mild tartness to this, some saltiness, so let's see what I think. Never had one before, a goes that is. I have had sour beers, but I don't really know if this is a sour beer. I really sound ignorant when it comes to beer, but I just don't know anything about sours. So all right, let's get an aroma. It smells sour. It smells pretty clean. It's just, you know, I don't know if I've had a blood orange, but it smells fruity, kind of, well, more citrusy, not, you know, when you, I'd say like a sour citrus, almost like grapefruit, really. No malt to speak of, which makes sense. I mean, it smells pretty good. Yeah, I'd say citrusy, this really bright nose. So, and I'm not getting any funk, so I really should have done some research, but it says orange during fermentation, part tangy citrus. No, oh, there we go. A slight sweetness to complement the salinity and tartness typically found in the Ghost style ale. So, huh. And I don't know what yeast they use. That'd be interesting to know, and I don't know it. So, all right. Enough talking about the smell. Let's go on for it. Well, guys, to me it tastes like stomach bile. I don't know. It's sour. I don't get any orange. I just get sour, and there is some salinity, which I think helps for me anyway, for a non-sour beer drinker. Oh, I am picking up the orange now. It's almost like a grapefruit. You know, I shouldn't rag on it because I think it is very good. Again, that's just not my style. I think I enjoy it. I enjoy the sour aspect. I think it's a cool, really intense and difficult brewing style. It's not easy. But if I was going to have one of these, I'd want to share a bottle or a can with people, because I just, it's really carbonated too. It's just not really my cup of tea. I mean, like I said, I like the taste. I think it's a really well crafted beer. It's not what I like to sit around and drink. And I don't think most sour beer drinkers are going to sit and drink 6 of these. If they are, they're crazy, because I would have heartburn like a mofo. Who says mofo anymore? I don't know. But anyway, so yeah, there's that. I'll try to finish that, promise. But Josh, I see where you're coming from. It's well crafted. It's much better than a lot of other beer styles that are sour are. So that's really it for me this week. I guess so. One thing is I subscribe to Looney Larry. I just subscribed to him, and he's talking about this spotlight thing, and he wanted to call out new brewers. And you know, the idea is he wants you to, you know, when I shout them out, you shout them out, subscribe. I'm not necessarily going to do that for everyone, because there's some people that I'm not really a fan of, so I'm not gonna shout them out. Maybe that's mean of me, but if I watch them and I think that they're valid and you're gonna learn something, then I will shout them out. Not like you learn anything from my channel, but so the two that he said this week, I really dig. One is Sticky Tentacles, which I've subscribed to for about a week or two. Great guy, interesting, does some great stuff. He's hooked up with Tony Yates. Check him out, Sticky Tentacles. Most of you guys probably are subscribed to him that watch me, the 102 of you loyal subscribers. But and then the other guy, which I had not heard of, was Big Banana Brewing. So I watched a couple of his videos today at lunch, and seems like he's got it going on. He's new, and he's got, I think it was 34 or 42, something like that, subscribers, and I'm sure he'd appreciate you guys checking him out and subscribing if you like him. Now, to me, I don't want this to be used like you gotta subscribe. Check him out and see if you like him, and subscribe him, because there's so many people to subscribe to. If you have too many, it just kind of overwhelms you. But those two I do like, I subscribe to, and I think anyone can learn from them. If not, it's some entertainment. So that's it for me. Cheers, guys. Go, goes, go.